What up, everybody? My name is Alana Trepler, and this is the ATD Show. In Above the Dog Studio today, I am joined by the remarkable Jessica Beeson with Willow Tree Tutoring. Jess, thank you so much for being on the show. Welcome to the studio. I'm so glad that you are here.
Thank you. It's my pleasure to be here.
Awesome. So tell us about Willow Tree Tutoring.
Yeah, we started in 2012, and we started out of a need that I saw for students. I'm a certified teacher in Missouri, and I worked at the community college for 8 years. And while I was there, we were getting students that were coming in and reading way below college reading level. And I just thought, there's got to be something missing. What's going on here? And in that process, my husband actually got very sick at the time. Mm-hmm. And if anyone knows, as a teacher, it's just too hard to do sub-plans and try to work around things when you have doctor's appointments and visits and procedures and treatments.
Right.
And I had to take a moment to step back and think what's best for my family. Mm-hmm. And we decided to launch a tutoring company. And my husband was actually the catalyst to that. He sat me down and said, "You've been tutoring for a while now. Why don't you just make a business out of it?"
Awesome.
And he said, "There's a real need for these kids, so why don't you do something about it?" And I said, "Why not? Let's do it."
Husbands are great for that, aren't they?
They are.
They have an idea. Let's do this.
Right.
Good. So what kind of kiddos do you work with?
We work with all ages and all levels. So we work with 6 months and up. So we'll come out and teach baby sign with the new families.
Fun.
If there's any developmental delays, we'll help them with that. Walk the families through what to expect. As they get older through school, we'll do 504 and IEP meetings. We'll kind of help them with that. And we do a lot of ACT and SAT prep.
Okay, so ACT and SAT, those are primarily for high school.
Yes.
High school kiddos.
They are.
Yeah, and those would be sophomores and juniors?
Typically, I say if you haven't taken it by the second semester of sophomore year, you definitely need to. That will give you a baseline and know where you're at and where you stand, so you know what areas to focus on. Mm-hmm. And definitely by junior year. If you haven't taken it by junior year, you definitely want to get the ball rolling on that.
Okay, and that's for the ACT prep, and then they take the ACTs the senior year.
They can take it during the junior year.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, awesome. So how do those... Do you have separate classes for that? Do you do that one-on-one? How does the ACT prep work?
Yeah, we have both options. Once a month, typically right before the test, the weekend before on that Saturday, we'll have a 2-hour group class, and that allows students to get all the before you know or before you go type of things that you need, tips and tricks to make sure you can raise that score. So part of it is understanding the material, and part of it is understanding how to take this test.
Yeah.
The other option is the one-on-one sessions, and those can be scheduled around any kind of schedule. We can do in person, and we have a virtual option. So sometimes our kids' schedules are just so crazy, and the only time they have is 8 o'clock on a Tuesday night, and they want to FaceTime. We can do that.
Very good. Okay, so aside from the ACT, which is definitely important for these high schoolers, for their college futures, etc., what other classes do you teach, and what are like your niche classes?
Yeah, we work with a lot of students who have developmental delays, so in particular ADD and ADHD. When I got my certification, one of the areas I focused on was ADD and ADHD with OCD compulsory behaviors, which I know
that's my word.
A lot of acronyms.
Yeah.
But we kind of help students understand that just because you learn differently, that doesn't mean that anything is broken with you. And sometimes students, that self-confidence starts to go down, and then parents' self-confidence starts to go down, and then there's a lot of fighting and things going on in the home.
Sure.
So we can kind of come in and help alleviate that. And same thing with our ACT program. We have group classes and we have one-on-one sessions available. So everything is tailored to what our students and families need.
Okay. And you're also there to help someone if they just need to get a little bit past that C average. They need to get up there, do a little bit better in math. And
yeah, that's
awesome.
one of the nice things about our program is when you contact us, we're there when you need us. And then when you don't need us, then we're not there. So you're not signing up for any long-term contracts. You're not stuck in a minimum of hours. We don't have any cancellation fees at all.
Yeah.
We know that life happens, and sometimes kids come home and get off the bus and immediately get sick everywhere.
Right.
And, traffic in this area.
Yeah.
We all know a 15-minute commute can turn into 45 very quickly.
Yep.
So again, we don't have any cancellation fees or extra fees on top of what we do.
That's amazing. That's rare.
It is.
That is rare. Okay, so rumor has it, a little Jessica Beeson-Bird told me that there's a nonprofit coming up with Willow Tree. Tell me about that.
Yeah. So last year we launched a program that allowed local families and business owners to sponsor ACT prep programs for students. And it also covers the cost of the ACT test and materials and everything that they need. In that, we worked with the Child Center and Habitat for Humanity, and throughout that we found that there's a greater need than just ACT prep. A lot of our students coming into the classes if they had backpacks, they were falling apart, there were holes, they were ripped, and a lot of students didn't have pencils to take the test with, or calculators, and just the minimum things that you need. So out of that, we decided we're going to create a nonprofit. And in that, students will be able to get a backpack full of supplies, and this will be school supplies and personal products that they need.
Oh, nice.
So when they get displaced or when they're moving from home to home, they'll have everything that they need in that backpack.
Wow. There's a huge need for that.
There is. Yeah. It's definitely a lot greater than I think we realized. So once we saw that the need was there and we saw just how large of a need it was, I just felt like we really needed to do something.
Yeah, they do all those drives and everything at the beginning of the school year.
They do.
Yeah. So
they sometimes forget about the rest of the school year.
Right.
And especially over summer. A lot of our kids, the only meals that they're getting is at school. Right. And when school is out, then what do they do?
Right. Wow. Well, that's awesome. I'm so glad that you guys are doing that. And what I love about that you're doing this now is that you care so much in your tutoring program that you look beyond just teaching the kids math. You look at what their outside needs are. So not only do they need to learn this subject, but they need further help, and so many people look past those things and don't pay attention to those, and I love your heart.
Underlying cause.
Yeah, and I love your heart that you can see past just what's on the paper and actually see the kiddo for who they are and the family for what they need.
Well, thank you. I definitely have a passion for that. And when I got into teaching, I knew, and I experienced some of it myself as a student, and I knew sometimes there's an underlying cause, and it's not just that they don't get it. Right. Maybe they didn't get a good night's sleep last night, or there's something else going on. Yeah. There's a lot of psychology behind how we learn, and when you don't address those things, then there's no way a student can sit down and learn how to do trigonometric functions or balance chemical equations or even learn their multiplication facts.
Right. Now, you have a trick for that.
I do.
Yeah, so tell me about that.
I have tricks for everything, but we like to use our friend Pavlov. If anyone has heard of Pavlov, we use Pavlov's philosophy with our teaching strategies and our style. Pavlov is the guy who trained the dogs to salivate to the sound of a bell. So it's called conditioning, and that means when you hear a sound, you have a physical reaction, and your brain reacts to that sound. For adults, it might be words like taxes or audit or flooding. Your whole body just wants to cringe and turn into this little ball and say, no, 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 no. Right. For a lot of our students, it's words like fractions, math, test,
me too.
Quiz.
Stop it, you're killing me.
Exactly. And when they and it doesn't have to be happening right now, but they hear those sounds and they react that way. Mm-hmm. When you're trying to teach them something new, if that is their reaction, they're so focused on whatever negative experiences they're having, right, they can't open up to learn. So what we do is we take those sounds and we change them around a little bit, mm-hmm, so that those negative reactions turn into positive ones.
Right.
And then you see the self-confidence start to go up. Then they get that first right answer. Mm. And after that, it's the best moment in the entire world when you see that little bit of hope in their eyes.
Right.
Where they go, okay, maybe I can do this.
Awesome.
And then the next right answer and the next right answer. And their posture changes. They start smiling. We have fun with the sessions. And it's really great to see these kids change.
I love that. I love that technique and that conditioning. I love that. I love what you're doing to help the kiddos outside of just the tutoring, with your new nonprofit that you have coming up.
Yeah.
And so, all right. So anybody, now do you do services over the summer too?
We do. We are year round. So we help students all throughout the entire year. And summer is a really great time to fill in any gaps. So those students that really barely made it through the end of the year, mm-hmm, that's a good time to fill in those gaps. We also have the curriculums for the following year. So that's another thing that makes us a little bit different. As a certified teacher, and I've got a lot of connections within the school districts, but all the curriculums are public, so anyone can find them. But we already have them, so we know what they're going to be working on next year. So we can even get ahead. So when those students go into the school year, they go in feeling confident instead of treading water at the very beginning.
Awesome. It's like a summer-long cheat sheet.
It is, yeah.
That's fantastic, Jess. Oh, I appreciate what you're doing. That's a good reach for the community. Yeah. It's good stuff. So if somebody wanted to sign up their kiddo to help them get through whatever they need, mm-hmm, how would we do that?
Just go directly to our website at www.willowtreetutoring.com. Mm-hmm. You can also find us on Facebook, mm-hmm, and you can call our office at 314-620-9195.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being on the show, Jessica, and thank you for what you're doing for our kiddos in our community and to grow the community and make our families stronger.
Thank you. I'm really excited to be here.
Awesome. And thanks for being on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Right on. Okay, at Above the Dogs Multimedia Studios, my name is Alana Trepler for Jessica Beeson at Willow Tree Tutoring. Ta-ta for now, everybody.